Today, the Great Reversal continues. Hello, I'm Stuart Baskin, pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Tyler, Texas. In the story in the book of Esther, we have seen a major threat to the Jews living in the Persian Empire in the form of a decree promulgated by King Ahasuerus' top official, the evil Haman. Haman decreed the destruction of all the Jews living in the empire, and he determined the date on which this would take place by casting lots, or pur in the Akkadian language. But through a series of ironic events, the fortunes have been reversed. Haman has been hanged on the very gallows he had constructed to hang Mordecai, whom he loathed. Haman's house has now been given into the hands of Queen Esther, and Haman's royal office has been handed to none other than Mordecai himself. Now we come to the next piece in this great reversal. Since Haman's decree concerning the destruction of the Jews was a royal decree, it could only be reversed by another royal decree. But since Ahasuerus has given to Mordecai the authority to promulgate such a decree, Mordecai wastes no time in publishing the new orders. That's where we pick up the story. The king's secretaries were summoned at that time in the 3rd month, which is the month of Sivan, on the 23rd day, and an edict was written according to all that Mordecai commanded, to the Jews and to the satraps and the governors and the officials of the provinces from India to Ethiopia, 127 provinces, to every province in its own script and to every people in its own language, and also to the Jews in their script and their language. He wrote letters in the name of King Ahasuerus, sealed them with the king's ring, and sent them by mounted couriers riding on fast steeds bred from the royal herd. By these letters the king allowed the Jews who were in every city to assemble and defend their lives, to destroy, to kill, and to annihilate any armed force of any people or province that might attack them with their women and children, and to plunder their goods on a single day throughout all the provinces of King Ahasuerus, on the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month of Adar. The first thing to notice here is the timing of this decree. You may recall that Haman's original decree, right after he cast lots to determine the time when the Jews would be destroyed, well, that decree was promulgated in the 1st month of the year, with the date of destruction set for the 12th month. Now Mordecai publishes this latest decree, reversing Haman's original decree, in the 3rd month. So already 2 months have passed, and there are only 9 to go. The second thing to notice is the language of Mordecai's decree and how it closely parallels Haman's decree. Not only is Haman's decree reversed, but now the Jews are authorized to defend themselves against anyone still bent on their destruction. And the specific language exactly replicates the language of Haman's decree, authorizing the Jews to, quote, destroy, to kill, and to annihilate any group that still insists on doing them harm. This language is intentional, for it lets us know that the reversal of fortunes is parallel to the harm that was to come upon the Jews. But there's one more element to this decree that was not explicitly stated in Haman's original decree. In Mordecai's decree, the Jews are authorized to plunder the goods of those who attack them. But this element of plundering was almost certainly implicit in Haman's decree, for we have seen how the goods of those condemned were routinely confiscated and given to others in the ancient world. I would say that the writer is simply making it explicit in this case. And as we'll see tomorrow, this element does indeed come into play, though in a surprising way. Finally, notice that the date is the same as the date Haman had set for the destruction of the Jews. Now the date that had been set by the casting of lots, or pur, will be the day when the Jews will defend themselves against their enemies throughout the empire. With the new decree in place, the book of Esther records that the Jews throughout the empire rejoiced and through celebrations in anticipation of the day, the 13th day of the 12th month, the month of Adar, when the reversal of fortunes would be complete. When we return tomorrow, we'll see how it turns out. But for now, may God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do, this day and in all the days ahead.